Now from the so-called City Beautiful and home to the Madden Studios, this is EA Sports coverage taking on the Broncos of Orlando. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll run here with a rookie. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. You look at this Bronco defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
Milton. And Thomas has it. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Throwing is Milton. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Jags first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. To throw, it's Milton. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Allen. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. Curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Here's Milton. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Now Allen. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Now Milton. Catch made here by Campbell. And he will have the Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long.
Stephon Diggs. with career touchdown number 75. And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And a heck of a return as he goes out of bounds across the 50 inside the 45.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Now the Central Florida product is R.J. Harvey. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
A short throw to Ingram, and he is out of bounds inside the 30. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. The Broncos at 10-4 on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 25 yards that time.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Orlando with the football here to begin the second quarter. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Harvey will score. Touchdown, Broncos.
Did my eyes deceive me, or was that an I formation play that was just run there for a touchdown?
A little old school eye.
How about that? Was that a fullback, tailback, running it into the end zone?
Well, that's what that fullback's for, right? That's why you use that. Let him pave the way.
Oh, without a doubt. He's an extra blocker, and he did his job well on that play.
Team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future as they start to peer toward the offseason. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Off the play fake, here's Nix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
A short throw to Ingram. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run. 33 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Nick's going to give to Harvey. They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. On the sneak, it's Nix. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Bo Nix scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Broncos have taken the lead. And it looked like the operation got fouled up there. This ball was pushed to the right. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Here's Milton now to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
At the Broncos' 48-yard line.
To throw is Milton. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Nick Bonito. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
This ball nearly intercepted. A once-in-a-season chance for the big fella, but he couldn't corral it. 4th down, straight ahead.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt.
Back deep to return is Marvin Mims.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways. But right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter.
Throwing Nix. He'll swing this out to Harvey.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. Off the play fake, Nix.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Broncos. Jalen Waddle hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
2nd and 2. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Milton looking for Campbell downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Trying to get something positive to happen here before the break, and they sure need it. They went for the big one, but it winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Milton. Over the middle, complete. It's Thomas. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Off play action. Milton. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through.
And Charles, his name etched in the NFL record books. Just the second field goal ever made from 66 yards as he ties Justin Tucker's NFL record.
And everything had to go right for that field goal to be converted. The snap, the hold, the protection, all had to be perfect. No wind working against you, and he nails that one. Congratulations on an incredible kick.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
And open, he's got it complete to Courtland Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
To throw is Nix.
That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from making another catch to his big start.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Nix.
Complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good.
And that will do it for this first half.
Broncos 22, Jaguars 10.
Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard
line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now it's Nix. Over the middle and complete to Waddle.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
It's a gain of 9. Makes it 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw, here's Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Ready?
Nix to the air. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incomplete shot.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
This will be caught. It's Waddle.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 27 yards there, a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Nix looking to throw again. That's to the running back, R.J. Harvey.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 13 yards down to the 13. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. To say they've kept him under wraps running the football, that's an understatement. He's been completely neutralized.
Yeah, they've essentially taken him out of the game, haven't they? And you know, all the teams say, we're not going to let him beat us. Well, that's exactly what's happened here. They've lived up to that.
Second and 15. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Nick's going to keep this himself.
And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
First down. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
They'll go. Here's Harvey.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Toss left side for Harvey.
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. R.J. Harvey with touchdown number 15 on the year and second of the game. And the Broncos take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Lutz with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And as you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
Exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might...
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
No gain on the play there, second down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, it's Harvey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Devon Hamilton gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also 4th down now.
The Broncos send out their punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
51 yards rushing for him now on just... Six carries to this point.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much through the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Man, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, if they want to ride him down the stretch, he should have fresh legs.
On the draw, here's Allen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield.
15 more yards there, and quickly another first down.
A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Thomas has got it. Complete.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
Milton. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Ready, go!
Now a carry for Allen.
Oh, great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Throwing is Milton.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
And the Broncos force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10.
First and 10 at their own 10-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? At this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack.
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 14 yards that time for number 14. They're looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice gain.
Nix to throw again.
He completes this to Sutton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 37. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Looking to throw. Nix. Got a man open, it's Sutton. And he's got some space here. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
At the 22-yard line.
Back to throw. Nix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it's second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 17-yard line.
Looking to throw. Nix. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right on the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get it to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal.
On the sneak, it's Nix.
And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. But a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
At least they were running the ball on the final play instead of trying to throw it to rub it in, but they still got in the end zone. I kind of blame that, though, defensively. They were just kind of not even willing to stop them.
Yeah, they had an opportunity, but I think they looked at the scoreboard and said it doesn't matter either way, and that probably affected them on that play, and they ended up giving up one more score.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Orlando.